Hey guys, what's up? My name is Art, back for another video. Today, I said I was going to, last time I talked to you, I said I was going to promise I was going to make a video about drunk driving again. And today's that day. I took a half day off of work, had to go to a podiatrist. I missed the last appointment. Makeup appointment is good. I'm good to go. But anyway, now the thing is I got busted for drunk driving twice within a 10-year period. And that's no big, it's a big deal, but it's not a big deal because all that stuff's behind me. I'm done with all that stuff. Now, the first time when I got busted, I was pissed off. Was I drinking? Yeah. Was I drunk? Yeah. Was I driving? Yeah. When I got pulled over, I was mad. I got mad when I was pulled over. I was so pulled over. I was mad because the police officer that was following me didn't have his lights on. So when I was looking back in the rearview mirror, I said, something's back there, but I can't tell what it is. Now, I'm like, for a person who drives around Detroit area a lot, when you see a car with no lights following behind you, you don't know what's going on. So I just sped up. Then I got busted. Even told the judge that, and the judge didn't even give a damn. But that's when I was pissed off. I'm like, hey. But anyway, I served that year. Fine. It took a year and a half before I started drinking again. Then when I started drinking again, I fell right back into my cycle. Am I alcoholic? The answer is no. Problem is that problem is you get into what happens. You get into a cycle where you get into a rut and like, okay, I want to go out and drink. I go drink. Okay, I'm gonna drink, and drink some more, and then I'm drunk. To avoid driving home, back then, now some people might say, well, how come you didn't have an Uber or Lyft? Or back then, Uber and Lyft was not even in the Detroit area. Wasn't even thought of in the Detroit area. The only thing you had was taxis. And after getting ripped off by $80 taxi one way, and the funny thing is that, wow, it probably costed him like $30, but the dude really overcharged me, and you kind of was stuck, and I complained to the cab company. They're like, so what? That's one of the reasons I said, screw it, I ain't doing this stuff anymore. I'm not gonna pay no taxi. I used to sleep in the car. In my Jimmy, I used to sleep in the back seat. As long as I had a little bucket there, in case something was to go down, like me throwing up or me having to pee. And a lot of times, cops will pass by in the parking lot and don't do anything because they're just looking to see how many cars are there. Then when I wake up or I feel better, then I drove home. So now, after a while, I just said, screw it. I got sick and tired of, and like, now think about it, I'm sleeping in my car in winter. Yeah. So what happened was then I said, okay, let me buy, I go to Burger King, buy 4 cheeseburgers, eat 2 cheeseburgers, start drinking. Then as soon as I got out, as soon as I get back, as soon as I get out, eat the other 2 cheeseburgers. I used to do that. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. I did a lot of stupid shit. Got busted for the second time. I was mad, but the thing is, it's my fault. And the thing is that when you're sitting in a cell, the funny thing is, this time around, I had to wear one of those stupid orange jumpsuits. What happened was, it was funny. They took all your clothes. They took all my clothes except for my underwear, and I had to wear that orange jumpsuit. And the thing is, that thing was so uncomfortable. I'm hungover in an air conditioned cell that was so cold that I could barely sleep. and I'm drinking. The toilet had a little water faucet on the top. It's filtered and all this stuff, but still call it toilet water. And I'm throwing up and all this other stuff. Throwing up, drinking. Ugh, I get sick throwing up. And I looked up and said, "Damn, I got myself into this mess again. Damn. Okay, Art, something has to change. Next time, you gotta eat before you leave, before you do this." And it's fine. Got another attorney, did all that shit. My car. Okay, so my license was suspended for a month, so I couldn't drive. Then on top of that, in the middle of that, my car breaks. And in a way, if you look, I tell you what, if you have a car that was made in the 2000s, like mid to late 2000s, pop the hood open. Just pop the hood open. Stop the, pause this video, go outside to your car and pop the hood open. And then you look at it and you realize how much of a nightmare it is. Now imagine a part that's deep down inside there and then it's broken and needs to be fixed. Yeah, that's what I had. A little bitty part. The part was shorter, is smaller than this. No, actually, can't think of anything kind of close to it, but it was that small. Okay. So my car was down for a couple more months. Got the car fixed. I drove it to my mechanic. When I wasn't supposed to be driving, my mechanic said, "You're supposed to be driving?" I'm like, "Nope. But how am I else gonna give you my car?" It's fun. And he had it for like almost 3 weeks. And the funny thing is, every part he used, that same part he ordered, the part wouldn't work. Ordered the part wouldn't work, and then all of a sudden he finally got it to work. Done. $300 to $500 later, it was done. I was up driving again, going to AA twice a week, going to substance abuse counseling about twice a month. I was feeling depressed. I was angry. I was depressed. I wasn't angry. I was angry because I put myself in that situation. Same thing that if you have a DUI right now, you're feeling that same feeling. Every one of us who had a DUI has the same feeling. Now, and the funny things I look up is that ex superstar, ex model / superstar gets busted for drunk driving, and guess what? They're driving the next day. They had to go to Betty Ford for 30 days, and after that, it's done. I'm stuck for 2 freaking years. Substance abuse counseling, AA twice a week, and it's not mind-numbingly, achingly. Okay, now I want to tell you something. I did some videos about AA before. Now the group I usually go to, it's a very good group, laid back, and they're very honest about stuff. Other groups was like fire and brimstone. You got a problem, motherfucker. You got a problem, man. You're a drink. You're an alcoholic. If you don't follow this, you're gonna die. You're gonna die. I'm like, motherfucker, you don't know shit about me. And some people believe that. Some people believe the hype that they're an alcoholic, and that's fine. If you're an alcoholic or you're addicted to drugs or some shit like that, if you admit it and own it. I don't down you. I'm not harsh on you. I'm just telling you what people did to me. And things, it made me depressed. Why? Because guess what? I'm going through all this shit. Why? I'm like, man, why am I going through all this shit again? Because I made a mistake. The funny thing is, the police officer, well, you just made a mistake. Oh. If it was all that freaking simple. 2 years of AA. 2 years of AA. So that's, if you think about it, that's 52 times 2. 52 weeks a year, twice a week. On average, it's twice a week because of the fact that sometimes it's the holidays or something like that. 104 sessions. Now, some people had to do 90. Now, some people had to do 90 AA sessions in 90 days. And those are the guys who I see who went to 2 to 3 a day. And I'm like, oh man, I couldn't stand that shit. I wouldn't be able to stand it. But like I said, I felt it all this. I look up, I was like, man, I'm doing this and I'm doing, and after a while, you get used to it. You get used to calling the phone number every morning, learn that you got to pee. Now the fun thing is the place I had to. It was called Jams. If you're from Michigan, especially Detroit area, you get something that's called Jams, and it really jams your ass up. Every time you go in, you had to do a breathalyzer and you had to pee. The place looked nondescript, janky storefront. It was sandwiched between a Thai restaurant and a laundromat or some shit like that. The toilet was janky as fuck. It had like two mirrors on the opposite side of the toilet, so that way they can look and see you pee. So I mean, so what happens if you're a woman and you have to sit down to pee? They can see you pee. And of course, there was a guy and a girl who worked there. The guys looked at the guys, the girls looked at the girls. Now, when the guys wasn't around, the girls would be looking at. So here I am, I'm whipping my shit out to pee. And sometimes there was some fruity, janky ass motherfucker. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not against homosexuality. But when I say fruit, I mean strange fruity. He could have been gay, I don't know. But it was just fruity. Just, it's like me, I mean, tell you the truth, if you're a guy, do you know how you feel when another guy looks at you peeing in a urinal? That's the feeling. And the thing is, in a way, it's kind of degrading. In a way, it's kind of degrading. I was like, oh. And if you don't pee, if you don't give them a good sample, you failed, and then you got to report to probation, and you have to pay more money. And it's like, shit. I paid so much money because I didn't. Tell you the truth, I violated originally. I actually violated 3 times. I'm talking about actual violation by not showing up for probation because one, I couldn't get off of work on time, or I was sick, and I was I was laid up actually, and I couldn't move. One time it was a traffic jam, and they stopped me from doing it, and I was like, I looked up, I was like, sheesh, 200-300 extra more dollars. It's all a money grab. You make a mistake, and they charge you the hell out of it, and it pissed me off, and it's sad. I felt depressed. I did. I felt like say, shit, give me a gun and let me blow my fucking brains out. And then all of a sudden, one day, I was so down. I was on YouTube, and then I said, let me look up depression on YouTube. Okay, and I saw this video. This young cute girl talk about her wanting to commit suicide at 15, and her story was like, it was like an hour and a half, but it was so fucking powerful. I was like, wow. So what I started doing, I started filming myself. Talking about my feelings. And what happened was is that after I filmed it, I only played it when I felt down. So when I felt down, I played it and watched myself talk. Then all of a sudden I looked up and said, what if other people might want to hear that shit? And then I looked up and some of the stuff could be controversial. And some people, now I tell you the truth, there's a big thing about YouTube cracking down on freedom of speech. Here's one thing you got to understand. YouTube is owned by Google. Google is a business entity. They have every right to dictate what you put on their platform, on their media platform. They have every right to dictate that. So even though I don't like the idea of white supremacists or KKK doing some wacky Nazi shit on YouTube, but according to the Second Amendment, they have a right to do it, even though you don't like it. But the problem is that a company has a right to say something. So that's why all of a sudden, some of the people you look up and say, "Oh, I'm about to get demonetized." Well, because you're trying to make money off of that platform. So if you try to make money off that platform, of course they're going to be a little bit more strict. Someone like me who don't get paid off of YouTube, guess what? They might give me a strike. Someone might report this video. and I might get a strike, and they'll investigate it, watch it, and say, okay, we're gonna give you a strike. If not, oh well, everything's cool. You know, so you heard about some people getting their channel taken off because they say some wacky ass shit. And the problem is that, and you want to talk about my freedom of speech. You know, fun thing, a lot of red pill people, their stuff got demonetized too because guess what? You're talking some controversial shit. Some of the controversial shit doesn't make sense, but that's what it is. Sparkling water. Sparkling water. But anyway, so all of a sudden I just started talking about my DUI situation. I started talking about DUI and my depression situation on YouTube. Some people, and you know, like 2.5 years ago, I went from like having 5 to 6 subscribers to like now almost 60. And I'm grateful for every subscriber. Even though not everybody, not everybody watched the videos, and I understand that. But if you do, you know, I love you for it. Maybe I might help you out a little bit. I don't know. I mean, tell you, other people help me out, and every now and then, I know there's a lot of videos I watch. I watch a lot of LGBTQ videos. I watch a lot of videos like that. I watch a lot of video gameplay videos, some movie reviews, some comic book reviews. I started doing a little bit of that and media reviews myself, or life in general. And guess what? A lot of times I don't. A lot of times I don't respond either. I just watch it. So that's great. I've only when I feel compelled to say something about that's when I do it. But guess what? You're going to feel. If I felt depressed doing all this shit, you're going to as well. Another one person I know, they went to it. They just got off of it within the last 6, like at the end of last year. My man, one person I know, I almost said his name. I'm not sure if I should say it, but that's okay. And the funny thing is, his channel, he talks about the same shit too. And the funny thing is, he felt depressed. He felt, and that's how we bonded. Me and this dude bonded. Me and this other girl, we bonded too over the same stuff. And she's from Canada. You know, she be having these long dissertations. And sometimes those dissertations, I got lost in, like, what is she talking about? You had a point, then you just, whee, way over there. But that's okay. But that's cool. But anyway, I mean, I got some, you know, I'm a big book guy. I'm a big boy. I don't care if people talk bad about me. You know why? Because it doesn't matter. You know, one guy, you know, he tried to troll on one of my videos, and I snapped back at him. That's fine. But like I said, you're gonna feel. But the thing is, that's the kind of anger I feel sometimes too. It's like, sheesh, why are you belittling some of the stuff I talk? Of course, some of the things I talk about other life situations, and I'm pretty sure some of you get sick and tired of hearing me talk about that too. But you know, that's just what's on my mind at the moment. But the thing is, one thing I can tell you is that if you got a DUI or you got busted for drugs and you're going through probation or parole or anything, you just got to tough it out. You got to tough it out. You got to stick with it, tough it out. Because it's going to get, one day it's going to be over with. And you're going to be stronger for it. Trust me. I'm a lot stronger now than I was back then. Believe me, before, last night, I drank one of these. In the past, I'll drink 5 or 6 of these. I stayed at home, of course. I'll drink 5 or 6 of these. I only drink one. Because now I know what could happen. What could happen in the meantime. It helped me put things in perspective. It helps me put this whole incident, it made me stronger. It helped me put things in perspective. What's more important right now to me? You know, you look up and say, what's more important to you right now at this particular moment? And right now, a lot of times some people say, hey man, yo, Art, let's go out and do some stuff. And I'm like, nah, I'm just going to chill at the house. But if you need a ride home, don't hesitate to give me a call. After a while, that got tiring. After a while, that got tiring. I was like, oh my gosh. But anyway, just remember, if you're going through with the court system or anything like that right now, just tough it out. You're going to be stronger for it. You might not see it now when you're going through it, but you will become stronger. You will become stronger. Or you can just surrender to it and just... Now, the person in Canada I told you about, that person surrendered to it and cannot escape that. That person put themselves in a cell, in my opinion. I still love that person to death. But that person's in a cell that they can't get out of. And no matter how hard they try, and I try to help them get out of that cell, they're stuck in it. But anyway, that's enough for me. Just remember, you'll get stronger. So, something came for me in the mail today. See how thick that sucker is? The next video I do, I'm going to be opening this thing bad boy up. So, hopefully I might do it today. It's Wednesday. Or I might do it tomorrow, which is Thursday. Who knows? Or maybe even tonight. Don't know. With that, talk to you later.